I know a lot of people are confused with this update being so featureless, even without Unity, what was it, 2021 being added. But one thing that I think at least some of you will benefit from is this one little light line here in the center of the screen here, which is memory consumption optimization. I read this, and at the time I figured it would be a good idea for me to write down some of the memory consumption I did factory just for consistency's sake, and then I also did streets because I was assuming they would definitely target streets as a place that needs some more tweaks and optimization, which they did. But this line right here may actually help a lot of you who are currently running with 16 gigabyte kits on a older CPU and things of that nature. If you're getting rammed, if you're getting RAM bottlenecked, if you're getting freezes because of either standby memory overflowing or just simply too much RAM usage, this is going to be huge. And the reason I know this is going to be huge is because I believe I'm going to put a screenshot probably of the tweet. Actually, you know what, let me just go find it. So this tweet here from Haze Streams on Twitter, you can go check him out. I'm citing him. He actually found out that he actually got improvements from turning on automatic RAM cleaner. For some reason, this didn't click in my head to actually try out this setting, but this is huge. This is actually massive. He's not exaggerating it too much, though. I don't know where this number was coming from, but we'll get to that in a second. But I figured I'd show you guys what the difference is. I did some tests, and let's just jump right into it. And as I'm loading in, one thing I do want to mention is, yes, I am still testing in offline mode for consistency's sake, but this improvement in RAM utilization, I can't speak, but this improvement in RAM utilization will stretch to online as well. I did tests on that as well with a couple scav runs just to see how the experience was with a lot of, like, you know, dead bodies, scavs, players, and that sort of thing in the lobby at once. And there was at least a couple gigabytes improvement on reserve for me. And we're going to test that out actually right now. Great voice crack. Wow, that's fantastic. So now we are on reserve here. I do have my own little set of places that I run benchmarks. This being one of them, this poll right here. I tend to use this straight right down reserve for the benchmarking sake. And just staring down there right now, you can see in the top left, I have roughly 14 gigabytes of usage. We can call it 13.8. And this is with the automatic RAM cleaner off. I just figured I'd give you guys a baseline so that you would see the difference when I turn this on, because there is a pretty big difference. I've never actually tested just turning it on in game before, but we're going to do that and see if it actually does any difference, or does actually start in raid, because I actually haven't tested this yet. That's huge. You can literally see it dropping in real time. That's awesome. That's awesome right there. So you can see it drop to around 11 gigabytes, and no, I'm not done. Holy shit. Okay. All right, we found our sweet spot, I think. I think it stopped. We're at roughly 10 gigabytes. I'm going to call it 10. Whereas before we were almost at 14. That is a 4 gigabyte decrease in RAM utilization just in this place alone. And you can turn on in raid as well, which I didn't even know. I just found that out on the fly. So if you're struggling with RAM usage in Tarkov, I'll make more videos on this and all of my recommendations once Unity 2021 comes out, because I want to refresh all my content at that point. But for now, this is a really amazing solution. If you use this with the standby list cleaner as well, you shouldn't be getting any issues with RAM usage in Tarkov anymore, as long as you have that 16 gigabytes and you don't have too many things running in the background. I'll show you as well, now that we've seen reserve, I do have my other figures inside of my little benchmark notepad here. See, I benchmarked RAM usage before and after 13.1. So here's before. We got roughly 7 gigs on factory and 14 to 15 gigs on streets. I also marked VRAM just in case they did something with that as well. So there was no notable change with that. And then after the patch, I noted actually that the RAM usage increased on factory by a little bit before I realized that RAM cleaner was a thing. And well, the second I turned on RAM cleaner, we got a gig free on factory. And on streets, I saw just about the same improvement that I did here on reserve, which is minus 4 gigs of RAM usage. Amazing work from the BSG team with this, because this will actually help a lot of people play the game with way less stutters, at least in this department, which is big. This is great to see, and I can't wait to see their improvements coming up with Unity 2021. Don't know as far as like the netcode goes with this patch. I haven't been playing that much. I've just done a couple scav raids just to test this feature, so I haven't noticed really any difference, to be honest with you, but I'm sure they're building up to their big Unity 2021 patch. And I'm totally not jinxing it by saying it on a video. So this isn't more impactful, but I just wanted to make sure the word got out with this video. Stay tuned for more update videos as they drop. I'm going to continue testing settings once the probably won't be a wipe, but once the Unity 2021 patch comes up. I can't say that straight for the life of me, and I hope this helps some of you guys out with your RAM utilization. But this has been Clem, and I'll see you guys soon for some more videos once Unity updates. It's gonna be big, I hope. Fingers crossed. Oh, and also I forgot to add, the performance actually hasn't deviated pretty much at all, at least on the offline test that I did. I can show you really quickly my benchmarks for those of you who stayed to the end of my rambling video. I will actually find where it is inside of this real quick. So you can see here I've got my factory and streets benchmarks. I normally do 3 at a time just to get a good average out that won't be too skewed by any issues I do while I'm testing. They're pretty short. I don't run them for long. I have specific sections of the map, like I said. And so here on factory, you can see we roughly get 144 FPS on average. 1% lows are really good too. 0.1% lows are even better. And down here on streets, we're doing pretty good as well. These lows could be better, could be improved, but it's not the end of the world. We're staying above 60 FPS. And then here as well, this is just what I did right before I came to record. There's not any difference whatsoever between these numbers here and these numbers up here that is of note. So figured I'd let you guys in on a little bit of what I'm doing in the background with my MSI Afterburner benchmarks. And yeah, there's not a big issue, at least for me, with the FPS, and I hope it doesn't impact your FPS either. Make sure to test it and leave what you think in the comments below. Yeah, now I'm actually gone. Clocking out. Later.